More first take coming at you. Sorry, Cowboys fans, but I'll tell you why the Birds are better than Big D. Plus, why the Patriots have the Ravens exactly where they want them come January. And the Packers lose big. But find out why it's no big deal for Green Bay. Second hour, first take now.
Welcome back to First Take. We're coming to you live from above the Chase River deck here at Pier 17. Over in the NFC East, the Eagles beat the Bears yesterday and are now 5-4, while the Cowboys can hold on to the top of the division with a win tonight against the Giants on Monday Night Football. Here's a quick look at the NFC East standings. As I mentioned, the boys are on top with Philly. Let's get those up there for you. And you can see the Giants are right there behind them. On that note, we welcome in what?
The Giants are right there behind. You making it sound like the Giants are in it.
Whatever, they're right there behind them. How did I lie? Did I lie? No.
Oh, Molly,
them.
I love you.
My goodness. Was there some bias in that? Okay, whatever. We are here in New York. What's going on, Ryan? How are you?
Hey, Molly, how you doing? And you are right. They are number 3, right behind the Eagles, who are number 2.
Behind there. Yeah.
Playing like number 2,
yeah,
but yeah.
Close second. Just kidding. I will start with you, Stephen A. Right now, who's the better team? Is it the Cowboys or the Eagles?
Well, first of all, I have to give it to the Cowboys, number one, because the last time we saw them on the same field as the Eagles, they stomped them. That's number one. They ain't beat them. They stomped them. They stomped them out. Now, obviously, the Philadelphia Eagles, there has been reticence about your secondary, but Darby is back, Mills is back, McLeod and Jenkins are back in the secondary, so you anticipate that they'll be better. I would say to you that yesterday is no kind of test whatsoever because Mitchell Trubisky completing just 10 passes and 21 attempts, throwing for about 153 yards. He's just pathetic. I mean, you're the Chicago Bears. My condolences to you as a city, as a franchise, and everything in between. I don't know why we're not talking about the executive who elected to move up and get Mitchell Trubisky at the expense of Patrick Mahomes and Deshaun Watson.
The two best players in the AFC.
Could you just imagine what the Chicago Bears would be like if one of those two brothers was their quarterback? We'd be talking about the Chicago Bears as potential Super Bowl champions right now instead of the San Francisco 49ers, by the way. But getting back to Philadelphia in comparison to Dallas, let's be very, very clear. When we look at the Philadelphia Eagles, what happened? I think the key to all of this is Deshaun Jackson. When Deshaun Jackson is on the field, he gives you a vertical game. Without him, once again, Nelson Aguilar is out there. Alshon Jeffrey dropped another pass yesterday. Zach Ertz can only do but so much. You don't have a vertical passing game because none of them can gain that level of separation. Deshaun Jackson is supposed to be the guy to do it for you. He's out with an abdomen injury. He comes back. One drive, one catch, and then he's out. Nobody knows whether he retweaked his abdomen or whatever the case may be. Some people are speculating he shouldn't have came back yesterday. Next week is a bye week. Sit him out yesterday. Sit him out for the bye week. Bring him back 2 weeks from now. Then he'll be healthy. Now you're wondering whether he re-injured himself or whatever. You don't know what that situation is. So with that being a huge question mark, combined with us not knowing enough about their secondary as we would like to know, and Dallas having just stomped them a couple of weeks ago, I think it's only fair to say that right now the Dallas Cowboys, you have to give them the edge over the Philadelphia Eagles, even though I reserve the right in a few weeks to sit up there and say, hell no, Dallas is going home.
I'm gonna refute that in a second, but first I want to say, you know how you said, Stephen A., imagine what they would do if one of those two brothers was quarterback? I'm going to bring this up every time this topic comes up now because it's got to be looked at. Other than Steve McNair and maybe Kyler Murray, kind of, sort of, although Baker Mayfield went one the year before, black quarterbacks rarely rise in the draft. You notice it. But white quarterbacks frequently do, out of proportion to where you think, oh, wait a minute. Oh, we see something in them. Look at what happens. Right, imagine the Bears with Patrick Mahomes or Deshaun Watson, the number 1 and 2, along with Lamar Jackson, top 3 players who went last out of all the top quarterbacks in the first round. All right, let me get to the Eagles and tell you why it's the Eagles, Stephen A. And this is really the difference between these two teams. The Eagles have been more banged up than the Cowboys, but they both had injuries this time of year. The Eagles have been especially hurt with key players that really make them who they are. Deshaun Jackson, take the lid off the defense. Even his presence on the field, though not 100%, though not for the whole game, you could see it change the offense, give Carson Wentz a few more things to do. Injuries on the offensive line, different things like that have hampered the Eagles. Here's the difference. One team here has a Super Bowl winning coach, and the other does not. The other has a coach who people point and they go, he's the problem with the team. What have we seen, like in the AFC North, for example? Who are the teams that are still in contention in the AFC North, really? The Ravens, with Lamar Jackson, who have a great coach in Harbaugh. They always compete. And the Steelers, who have been ravaged by trade and defections in terms of free agents and injuries, and are 4-4 because they have a great head coach in Mike Tomlin, and they compete. Harbaugh, Tomlin, Super Bowl winning coaches who are competing every year. The Eagles, Doug Peterson, a Super Bowl winning coach. And here are the Eagles having a very up and down season, but right in the thick of it. Guys, this is kind of a must win for the Cowboys because it's the lowly Giants they're playing on the road, right? Like, you got to beat the Giants, and they should beat them.
Nipping at their heels. What are you talking about?
Exactly. They should beat the Giants, but like that would be an awful loss for the Cowboys, especially now, Ryan. Carson Wentz is not trying to force the ball down the field as much. He is kind of dinking and dunking. When Deshaun Jackson gets back, that should open up some down the field stuff for Carson Wentz too. I think the Eagles are in a better position than the Cowboys.
Well, Max, listen, it's really hard to do this show with Stephen A. with that sports coat on. I don't know if he's trying.
Where'd he go? I can't see him.
I don't know if he's trying to hide from us.
I know you ain't talking. I know you're doing that big doofy bow tie you wore a few weeks ago. That blinded your whole
living in the past.
It even blinded your head.
You gotta stop.
That's how bad that was.
In the past. I don't know who tricked you and talked you in. You know what? That's what happened with GQ. Come out and do a suit. You get brave and you do things out of character.
Ryan, can I say something real quick? Listen.
GQ has been.
I know everyone read.
They are coming out with a feature on me. I know it's been in the media, Stephen A., new contract and everything, but whoever did that to you, that's just wrong.
That's terrible.
Don't sell him that suit.
Everybody watching knows you can take lessons from me on a variety of things. Fall back.
However, dressing is not one of them.
That probably is when they're at the top of the list. You wear the same outfit every day.
Listen,
a variation of it. That's all you got to do.
Consistency, Max. Consistency.
That's it.
I'm going to go with the Cowboys.
Guys, can we please talk about sports? This is getting awkward.
I'm getting back to it. I'm going to go with the Cowboys right now, and here's why. I know people say absence makes the heart grow fonder. Absence also makes us forget what we saw from them last. And the last time we saw them, they beat the Philadelphia Eagles, and the game wasn't close. They were more physical. They beat them down the field. Dak Prescott was better than Carson Wentz. He fumbled. He threw interceptions, and we have to remember that we saw that. On the other side of it, I do get that the Eagles are getting healthier defensively. Avonte Maddox is back. Jalen Mills, their number one corner, is back. Also, you have Ronald Darby. They also played Uncle Rico at quarterback the last 2 weeks in Josh Allen and Mitchell Trubisky. The thing that ails them is that they can't stop the pass on the outside. They get beat deep. They get beat over the top. They give up yards after the catch. When you play a team like they did in Chicago, when you play a team like they did in Buffalo, that plays to your strengths. The Dallas Cowboys right now are the best team in the NFC East. And to Max's point, they have to go show that tonight. The last time they went to MetLife and they played against a team in New York, it was the Jets, and Sam Darnold showed out. Sam Darnold actually looked like he should be a quarterback in this league, and Adam Gase looked like he deserved to be a coach. They can't have a repeat performance of that, and that is on Jason Garrett. But I believe they understand that.
If you can make Gase look like an NFL head coach, boy, you've really done something there.
Yeah, it was and that was a bad. Go ahead, Stephen.
I know you know him, and you can enlighten us because I got profound respect for your football knowledge. But Adam Gase looks like a disgrace right now. It is a very, very, very bad job that he is doing, and it is something I guess we'll get into later on in the show. I'll save it for them, but it's pretty damn bad. And I will say, getting back to you with the Cowboys. Here's the saying: absence makes the heart grow fonder. Too much absence makes the heart wander.
Well, listen, they'll be back tonight, and we need to see who they are. If they come out and they're the team that lost 3 in a row, or if they're the team that came out and played against the Philadelphia Eagles, and that's what I expect to see. We watched this defense. They started to pressure the quarterback. They created the turnovers we have been expecting of this young linebacker group, and Dak Prescott, Ezekiel Elliott, Amari Cooper, those guys showed up and made plays, and that's the Dallas Cowboys we expected coming into the season.
That's a good point, and one thing you could say about Dak is his teammates seem to like him. I think that's important. Carson Wentz got to repair his relationship with Alshon Jeffrey. Whatever they want to say, deny what. Come on, man, stop. Alshon Jeffrey suddenly can't catch a pass?
Well, he dropped a couple yesterday.
Listen, when Deshaun Jackson's held
and hearing some different things from Orlando Scandrick that some of the things he actually, I guess, didn't say out loud, some of the reports I've heard is that there is something to what Max has been saying about Carson Wentz and his relationship with teammates. Carson Wentz and his ability to lead, his ability to relate to some of those guys. And I think maybe the dink and dunk, maybe some of the things that he's trying to do and work on will help this team, but they don't seem like the team that played with Nick Foles. And so we'll see how that progresses as the season continues.
That's for sure. And we'll see the Cowboys and Giants, of course, on ESPN tonight. And you all are wild. I should win an award for winning with men. Working with men for the last 15 years. Seriously, courage award here.
Hey, listen, we do defer to you as the boss and the matriarch. I mean, that's typically the situation that men find themselves in. It's subordinate position. So it shouldn't be a big deal. I was just trying to help Ryan out there because I thought that's the quote I thought that's the kind of thing he was looking for. Of course I do. Absence makes the heart grow fonder. Too much absence makes the heart warm.
Was yesterday's terrible performance by that bad man in the Packers a bigger cause for concern? Everyone, please help me. Plus, was the Ravens' win over the Patriots last night legit or simply a matter of smoke and mirrors? Max, I'm looking at you when we come back.
Absence!
Okay, Stephen A.